Hola, buenas tardes. Estamos aquí con Joseph Gianportone, cofundador de la empresa de bienes raíces On in Ecuador. Joe, gracias por tu apertura en este momento.
Gracias for your time también.
Joe, ¿podrías hablarnos un poco sobre tu trayectoria y tus responsabilidades previas en este ámbito
De ventas,
de ventas?
¿ok? Es una historia larga, pero vamos a probar una versión corta. Y en Spanglish, por mi mal español. Disculpe mi mal español. Inició con mi arte cuando era un niño. Y para vender mi arte a mi familia y la gente en los negocios de mis papás. Y desde, from my youth, cambio a inglés ahora. From my youth, I always had jobs involving sales, involucrar ventas, pero it was never my main focus. When I was your age, about 20 years old, I was doing design, web design, for my father's web design company. I learned everything in the field. I never went to school for sales. And it was the best method for learning because I was in real life, dealing with real CEOs, real emprendedores. And I remember when I was your age, I went from doing just web design to selling websites. And at 20 years old, I was working every day, making calls, visiting owners, and trying to sell them websites. Then years and years passed, and I started learning to sell my own services, design services, web design services, to individual clients. So I was working now on a one-on-one basis with clientele. And then in 2010, I was contracted by an agency in New York City, Manhattan, to sell their services to nightclubs, discotecas in New York City. This company was called Night Tables, and their business model was online reservations for nightclubs. And it was a new concept, and my job was to go around Manhattan, New York City, and I did this for 1 year, every day, walking, taxis, subways, meeting with owners and managers of the biggest nightclubs in New York City to sell them this concept. And I had to train other salespeople to sell this concept. And we did. We sold 100 nightclubs in 10 months under my direction. And that was where I learned real sales, because it was a business that did not belong to me, and I had to visit people all day, every day, making calls, following up, being aggressive, and teaching others to sell the same product. So that's more or less my background.
Entonces, aprendiste ventas en la experiencia.
Sí, full experiencia. Y I've read many books. I've listened to many really experienced salespeople do TED Talks and training courses. I've taken many training courses. But I've always found, even with the best training, you can never learn how it works really well unless you apply it in real life. So the best school for me was always in the field, in applying what I learned on a video or in a book or from a teacher in the real world to practice. Because nothing that you learn in a book is always 100% the only answer. You always have to improvise and evolve what you've learned, again, in the real world.
Listo. ¿De qué se trata la fuerza de ventas y cuál es su principal objetivo?
Well, I'll go in reverse. The main objective of a sales force is to close sales. right? To bring in sales. But how you do that with a sales team is you have to have accountability. Accountability means something to answer to. So everyone has to have their own roles and responsibilities. You need to have an aggressive approach to following up with your leads, your prospects, potential clients, clientes potenciales. And you have to have really good marketing to drive leads to the sales force. The sales force, is on the phones, making visits, trying to acquire clients, but also a good business has a lead generation system. And the system is always, I think, what will mean success or failure. If you have no system, you will fail.
Otra pregunta es, te la voy a hacer en español e inglés para que lo
Está
entiendas.
bien, en español primero.
Sí.
Si no entiendo, vamos a cambiar.
Sí. ¿Cuáles son los aspectos claves que se deben considerar para un control eficaz de la fuerza de venta?
A customer management system. So some system, it goes back to my previous answer, systems are always really important. So a customer management system, which is like whether it's an online application or just a bookkeeping system, Google Sheets people use, to organize your prospects, your potential clients, to have a sales funnel, we call it. So a sales funnel is a step-by-step process to achieve a sale. So you have step one, client acquisition. How do you get those clients? Do you call? Do you just look through a magazine for potential clients? Do you have good marketing that is sending the leads, sending the prospects? Do you have people going door to door, knocking, right? If you sell, for example, Eaton Montes sells restaurant marketing services, we have people who just walk into the restaurants, nice shirt, briefcase, iPad. Hi, can I speak to the owner? So that's your first point of contact. But then the follow-up, the conversion of that prospect into a sale, you have to have a very good system. If you don't have that system, you can't succeed.
Grandioso. Joseph, ¿cuáles son los principales desafíos que enfrenta el equipo de ventas en tu empresa y cómo los abordan?
That one I don't get.
What are the main challenges facing in the sales team in your company, and how do you address them?
So every business is different. I would say, at different stages of our growth, we have had different, obstacles to overcome. I would say that the biggest obstacle is the follow-up, the knowing, communicating to your potential clients where you are in your stage of the sale, and bringing them to close. Like we get a lot of potential clients to the point where they are in agreement. They want the product, they want the service, and they're ready to go. But that next step, signing the contract, getting the first payment, that is always a challenge.
Un buen reto que hay que afrontarlo. Me imagino que muchas empresas, no solo la tuya, ¿no?
Right. Es difícil.
Sí. Y por último, Joe, ¿qué consejo le darías a alguien que está intentando seguir ¿qué consejo le darías a alguien que está interesado en seguir una carrera en la fuerza de ventas? What is the advice that you can give someone who is interested in get the career for sales or sales force?
Be more aggressive. If If you think you know something, know enough, learn more. Never feel comfortable with how much you know. There's always more to learn. And when it comes to sales, you have to have a few key elements. You have to have a good presentation. Focus on your presentation. You have to envision the final step. You have to envision the sale. You have to always assume the sale. What that means is at every point of the conversation when you're speaking to a potential client, you have to assume they are going to close. And you have to exude that confidence. Know your product. You must know your product. And for me, personally, you have to be passionate about it. If you are not passionate about what you're selling, I can't sell something I'm not passionate about. Some people can, maybe, you know. Sales is a unique industry. It's not for everybody. If it's not something you feel comfortable doing, but you have to do it, then that first step is always like getting past the fear of someone saying no. Never be afraid of the no. Expect the no. Crave the no. It's okay. Sometimes you have to say no to a potential client. We're not good for each other. Maybe we're outside of your price range. Maybe this isn't the right time for you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know that you're very busy. Thank you. Have a nice day. Be surprised. We call that in sales, we call that the takeaway. Where, hi, do you like this cup of coffee? You like this cup? Here. No, it's okay. You don't want this cup. Oh no, see, yeah, let me see. I would like that cup. The takeaway works for me all the time. The moment someone in sales, I'm trying to sell a product to or a service, etc., tells me they're not interested, it's too expensive, they have a friend who does something similar, etc., I say, no problem. This isn't for you. It's okay. Maybe we're too expensive. Have a nice day. And you'd be surprised how they say, wait. Tell me more. When they do that, you know you have the sale. Now just finish closing the deal. Ask for the check. Get a signature. It's time to go. Let's begin. Let's get started. So yeah, I mean, that's some advice. There's a lot of advice in one.
Yeah. Bueno, Joseph, muchas gracias y por tu tiempo y por tu conocimiento.
Yeah. De nada. Disculpe mi español. Vamos a hacer subtítulos.
Bueno, gracias.
De nada.